Hey everyone, welcome back to our podcast. Today we're talking about something we all struggle with at some point, setting goals and actually achieving them.
That's right. Every year, millions of people set New Year's resolutions. They say, this year, I'll lose weight, or I'll start a business, or I'll finally learn English. But just a few weeks later, they give up.
Exactly. If this has happened to you, don't worry, you're not alone. Studies show that around 80% of people abandon their goals by February. But why?
That's what we're going to explore today. Why do people struggle to achieve their goals? And more importantly, what can we do to change that?
Make sure you stick around because we'll also share an audio clip from Dr. Sarah Glova, who discovered an interesting strategy for achieving goals.
And before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video if you find it helpful. It really supports us and helps more people learn English.
So, let's start with the big question, why do so many people set goals and then give up?
I think one of the biggest reasons is lack of a clear plan. People say, I want to get fit, but they don't define how. Do they go to the gym? Do they run? Do they change their diet? Without a plan, it's easy to feel lost.
That's so true. Another reason is motivation fades. The start, people feel excited. But after a few weeks, when results are slow, they start to lose motivation.
And let's not forget lack of accountability. If no one knows about your goal, it's easy to quit without consequences.
Right? And sometimes people set unrealistic goals. If you say, I want to learn English fluently in 1 month, that's not going to happen. When you don't see progress, you feel frustrated and give up.
So now that we understand why people fail, let's listen to an expert's perspective. Here's an audio clip from Dr. Michelle Rosen, who shares a strategy she discovered for achieving goals.
The third secret of the 6%ers is that they use what I call the 0 to 10 rule. You see, we live in a world that glorifies being busy. Everybody's just so busy. You ask anybody and they're going to tell you with an incredible sense of importance, oh my gosh, I'm so busy. I've been running around the whole day. I didn't even have lunch. As if being busy equals being important or successful. There's something very different that the 6%ers do here. You see, in the span of your day, you have a lot of things to do. Too much. Too many things to do. You can't do it all. The mindset of trying to do it all leads to burnout. So, you have things to do throughout your day that are of lesser importance. Things that are 0 or 1 or 2, you can delegate them. Someone else can do them. They can wait for another day. But you have things on your agenda for the day that are a 10. Those are your most important things to do. Those are your goals, the tasks that will push you towards the future that you want, the success that you want.
That was such an interesting point from Dr. Rosen. She talked about the importance of priorities and focusing on the most important tasks first.
Exactly. And I totally agree. Many people struggle with achieving their goals because they try to do everything at once. They fill their to-do list with too many tasks, and then they feel overwhelmed.
Right? Instead, we should focus on the most important tasks, the ones that will actually move us closer to our goals. If we spend all our energy on small, unimportant tasks, we won't make real progress.
That reminds me of the 80-20 rule. Have you heard of it?
Yes. The idea is that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts. So instead of doing everything, we should find the 20% of tasks that have the biggest impact and focus on those.
Exactly. So, let's talk about a few practical strategies to actually achieve our goals.
First, like we said earlier, set clear priorities. Every morning, ask yourself, what are the 3 most important tasks I need to complete today? Then focus on those first.
Yes. Another tip is to break big goals into smaller steps. If your goal is, I want to learn English, that's too general. Instead, break it down. Learn 10 new words per day. Watch a short English video every morning. Practice speaking for 5 minutes each day.
That's a great point. Also, track your progress. If you don't measure your progress, you won't know if you're improving. Keep a journal, use an app, or just check in with yourself weekly.
And here's another powerful tip. Find an accountability partner. If you tell a friend about your goal and check in with them regularly, you'll be much more likely to stay on track.
Yes, having a support system makes a huge difference.
Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to go over some useful expressions we use today.
Yeah, these phrases are super helpful when talking about setting and achieving goals.
So, Emma, have you ever had a goal where having a support system made a difference?
Oh, definitely. When I was preparing for my first marathon, I really needed people to push me forward. Having a support system, friends who ran with me and encouraged me, helped me stay on track.
Exactly. Whether it's family, friends, or even an online community, having a support system can make a huge impact. After the first expression, having a support system, what about tracking progress?
To check and measure how much you are improving over time. This helps you stay motivated and see how far you've come. Speech balloon example. If you want to improve your English, write down how many words you learn each day. Tracking your progress will keep you motivated.
Now, this one is a game changer. Breaking big goals into smaller steps makes everything feel more doable.
Instead of focusing on a huge goal, divide it into smaller, more manageable tasks. This makes it easier to stay focused and not feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, and when you complete a small step, you feel motivated to move to the next one.
Exactly. Keeps you from feeling overwhelmed. Small steps lead to big achievements.
Motivation fades. This one is so true. We all start with a lot of energy, but motivation fades over time.
When you start something new, you feel excited and motivated. But over time, that feeling goes away. That's why discipline and habits are important.
For example, at the beginning of the year, people are motivated to go to the gym, but motivation fades after a few weeks. That's why having a plan is important. All right, those were some really useful phrases.
Yes. And now we want to hear from you. Have you ever faced a challenge where having a support system helped you? Or do you track your progress when working on a goal?
Tell us in the comments. And don't forget, if you found this helpful, like this video and subscribe so you don't miss our next English learning podcast.
See you next time.